Today at the International Volleyball Academy, we have prepared what you've asked for the most in the comments, serving. Today's episode is going to be packed, so let's get started.
The serve is the first attack in volleyball. Anyone who doesn't respect this unwritten rule has little chance of achieving success in top-level volleyball. Let's first take a look at the masters. In elite volleyball, both men's and women's, there are essentially three types of serves: the jump serve, the float serve, and the so-called hybrid serve. We'll analyze them in detail in episode 25. However, in men's volleyball, the jump serve clearly dominates.
But make no mistake, even 13-year-old boys are now able to master and use the jump serve in a game. Don't believe it? Here's the proof. These are clips from the national championship in the U14 category. The jump serve and hybrid serve are becoming increasingly common here, and we want young players to master the jump or hybrid serve as early as possible and not resort to the safer float serve out of caution.
However, we must start with younger children, around the age of 10. For a short period, we are forced to focus on underhand serves, but we aim to move to the overhand topspin serve from the ground without a jump as quickly as possible. Simply put, as soon as the kids master the basics of the attacking hit, we start working with them on the overhand serve. We already have the important foundation from the attacking hit. Besides the approach, which comes into play very soon, we have already learned the basic movement pattern of the hitting arm from spiking. Remember the archer stance?
The archer position will also serve as a fundamental tool for the overhand topspin serve. What's new for us? The toss, of course. It may seem trivial, but a proper toss is essential for a successful serve now and will be critical in the future when performing the jump serve in a competitive arena. For beginners, it's important to execute the toss with both hands. Why? This motion helps both arms move above the head, which is crucial for the future jump serve. Another similarity with the attacking hit is the contact point of the ball. You'll surely remember that it should be above the right shoulder or alternatively above the head. The same applies to the overhand topspin serve. To practice this, we'll use an exercise where the girls let the ball drop onto their shoulder first and later onto their head after the toss.
And now comes the strike after the toss. In fact, this isn't entirely new for the kids, as during the training of the attacking hit, they often toss the ball above themselves. At this moment, however, it is a precursor to the overhand serve, which will be performed from the ground for only a short time before the jump is added. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. These still shots will remind us once again of the familiar archer position, because even here, for a quality hit, the arm must always pass through this position. The same applies to the opposite arm, which must rise above the head. The similarity between the overhand serve and the attacking hit is the reason why we start teaching overhand serves to children relatively early, and the same goes for the jump serve later on. However, one challenge still awaits us. It's the wrist action, which, as we can see in this shot, is not yet perfectly mastered. The final wrist snap is missing.
And now let's move to the net. We start from a relatively short distance, say from behind the 3-meter line. It's important for the confidence of young children to experience successful attempts alongside the inevitable mistakes. From this short distance, it shouldn't be a problem for the ball to cross the net after the hit. Then we gradually move back beyond the 6-meter mark, which is also the length of the court for green and blue mini volleyball, which we will cover in the upcoming episodes.
Once children master serving from this distance, they are ready to use it in matches of blue and green mini volleyball. However, we will move even further, and if their technique is solid, we'll try to have them serve from beyond the 9-meter line, which is the boundary of a standard volleyball court. So, now we know how to serve. The overhand serve from the ground is a significant milestone in volleyball development, as it allows children to play a game similar to traditional full volleyball. However, at various tournaments, children see a higher form of serving, jump serves, and they will want to try it themselves. So let's take a look at how this appears at such tournaments.
Let's begin with red mini volleyball, where, as we know, only setting is allowed. Here, in addition to underhand serves, overhand serves from the ground are still used. A similar situation can be seen in green mini volleyball, although underhand serving is gradually declining. In blue volleyball, the situation is a bit different. We can already see that children are focusing on their serves, even adopting pre-serve rituals they observe in full volleyball. The key point for our topic is that jump serving is beginning to appear, both float and jump serves, despite frequent errors. This means we need to respond with the right training and start practicing jump serves as well.
It's mainly the girls who are pushing towards the float serve in a jump. The first thing we focus on, once again, is the toss. For the float serve, the toss is predominantly done with both hands. However, we also need to prepare them for the possibility of jump serves, even though it doesn't yet dominate women's volleyball. Still, we are training these children for the volleyball that will be played in 10 years, and it's not unlikely that the jump serve will become as prevalent in women's volleyball as it is in men's.
At the very least, the spiking motion after a self-toss with one hand should become a regular part of girls' training, even if not specifically for the jump serve, but because of various training drills, where it's necessary to use a strike after a self-toss.
We are now reaching the age when a child transitions from mini volleyball to traditional volleyball. Long-term competitions begin in the U14 category. 12 and 13-year-old children, regardless of gender, are capable of mastering the basics of both types of serves, float and jump serves. The more advanced players even combine the serves in the form of the so-called hybrid, but we will discuss that in episode 25.
Even though not all children use both types of serves in matches yet, it is important for us that they have mastered the technical fundamentals. This includes the toss, the approach, the correct motion of the hitting arm, and the crucial wrist action. Now, it's time for a recap.
We stated that we would minimize the period of underhand serving as much as possible. We noted that as soon as children master the attacking hit, it's essential to quickly move on to practicing the overhand serve. We controlled the important aspect of a correct toss by having the ball land on the head. Then we moved on to the strike after the self-toss, and from there, we approached the net. We started with a strike from a 3-meter distance from the net and gradually moved back to 6 and 9 meters. Logically, we reached the point where the children's development necessitated introducing jump serves, both float and jump serves. We concluded that it is not yet strictly necessary for both serves to be used in games, but we emphasized the importance of mastering proper technique. This includes the toss, the approach, and the correct motion of the hitting arm. We highlighted that the further development of float, jump, and hybrid serves will be covered in episode 25.
And what's in store for us in the next episode? Games, of course. Now that we know the basics of all the skills, receiving, setting, spiking, blocking, and digging, we need to transfer these skills into practice games. In these games, besides applying their mastered techniques, players will also need to read the game and make good decisions. Volleyball is, above all, a fun game. Let's not forget that.